The power of red clay soil runs deeper than you might think. This simple dirt has shaped entire cultures, communities, and ways of life across the American South. Today, we're exploring how one podcast is using this rich earth as a metaphor for cultural identity and belonging.
That's such an interesting lens to examine regional identity through. The way they're approaching North Carolina culture really digs beneath the surface, doesn't it?
Well, what fascinates me most is how they're using that red clay soil as this powerful metaphor for cultural DNA. When the host mentioned how it stains everything it touches, becoming literally part of people's physical existence, that's such a vivid way to understand how place shapes identity.
Hmm. And that story about his grandfather saying, "You got red dirt in your blood?" It's not just poetic, it's speaking to this deep sense of belonging that spans generations.
You know what's really compelling? They're promising to tackle both the celebrations and complications of Southern culture. Like, take their approach to BBQ. The Eastern versus Lexington style debate isn't just about sauce preferences, it's about regional identity, family traditions, and even historical economic differences between regions.
Oh, that's exactly what caught my attention. The way they're using something as seemingly simple as BBQ styles to explore these deeper cultural narratives. It's like each recipe tells a story about the community that created it.
And speaking of cultural evolution, let's talk about this fusion track Diesel and Data they mentioned, combining Southern hip hop, outlaw rock, and EDM. It's such a perfect example of how tradition isn't static but constantly evolving while maintaining its core identity.
That musical evolution really speaks to a larger question, though. How does a culture maintain its authenticity while embracing change?
Well, that's where their insider perspective becomes so valuable. They're not just observing these changes from the outside, they're living them, experiencing them firsthand. When they talk about North Carolina's diversity from the mountains to the coast, they're speaking from direct experience.
And they're using that perspective to challenge some pretty entrenched stereotypes about the South, aren't they? Like showing how North Carolina contains these multitudes, different landscapes, different communities, different viewpoints, all coexisting.
Exactly. And you know what's really smart about their approach? They're using immediate events, like that recent snowstorm, as a lens to examine bigger themes about community resilience and adaptation. It's like they're documenting this ongoing dialogue between tradition and progress.
The timing does seem particularly relevant given this renewed interest in local identity, even as our world becomes more globally connected.
And that's one of the most fascinating tensions they're exploring. How do you maintain what makes a place unique while also embracing necessary change? Like, how do you honor tradition while creating space for innovation?
Well, their approach to incorporating different voices seems key to answering those questions. Bringing in local musicians, historians, chefs, entrepreneurs who are actively shaping Carolina culture.
You know what really stands out to me? The way they're creating this multifaceted portrait of a place and its people. It's not just about preserving traditions, it's about documenting how those traditions evolve and maintain relevance in a changing world.
So, in essence, they're using these specific local stories to illuminate universal truths about identity and community.
That's right. And ultimately, that's what makes this kind of cultural storytelling so valuable. It helps us understand not just specific places and traditions, but how identity and community work in general, how people relate to place, how cultures evolve, how traditions stay relevant. These are universal themes explored through specific local stories.
Looking at it that way, they're really creating something that could resonate far beyond North Carolina's borders.
And that's the real power here. By grounding everything in authentic experience while remaining open to complexity and change, they're creating something meaningful, not just for people connected to North Carolina, but for anyone interested in understanding how place shapes identity and how traditions evolve in our rapidly changing world.